So we're okay. I think that the news is saying that it's pretty bad out here. It is. There's mud. You can't really walk or drive. We have Wi-Fi for a moment, so I'm posting this. This is how Pega and I look right now. Yep, no shoes because it's really hard to walk with shoes. My boots are like 5 inches, and then the mud became 5 inches, so I was kind of on stilts. But yeah, as part of this update, we are not allowed out of the playa. The gates are locked.
But we're
okay. We have enough tuna for a week, so we're okay. But there's a chance that Sunday is worse.
Okay, look, I'm sorry, but how could anyone stuck in this type of situation just nonchalantly mention that, oh, they locked the gates and the fences, they're not letting us leave? What? You see what I mean when I say that the realization has not kicked in for these people yet? Like, this shows you the type of people that we're all surrounded by. We're surrounded by sheep who are ready to be led to the slaughter. You just casually mentioned, yeah, you know, they're not letting us leave. They're forcing us to stay here, and they locked the fences and the gate. Like, and you don't question that at all? How could you be out there and not question what's going on? Why in the hell is the government telling you that you can't leave? They're shutting down flights. They shut down the city. They shut down neighboring towns. And now they're locking fences and gates to ensure that even if by some miracle you do manage to make it out the mud, that you can't leave? And y'all are okay with this? Oh, but don't worry, we got tuna, and here's my friend in a jacket, barefoot, walking on 70,000 piles of human feces, but we're okay because we got tuna.
Hi, Steve here. I grew up in the generation of Woodstock in the 60s. It was a record-setting gathering of hippies, rock music, and do whatever feels good atmosphere. And it was the first of its kind. But this whole gathering of this Burning Man festival that takes place every year in Nevada is something completely different. Unlike Woodstock of the 60s, Burning Man is mostly populated by white, affluent young people and older people who've been going to this event since it started. But the one thing they all have in common is they're all lost souls, devoid of any real spiritual understanding other than what the world calls spiritual. But this past weekend, something happened that's never happened before. They're calling it a mudpocalypse. Burning Man this year has over 73,000 people trapped on a toxic lake bed in the Nevada desert. Food and fuel are running low for the tens of thousands of attendees and tech bros trapped at the Burning Man Festival located in one of the harshest environments on Earth, the high desert on a dried-up alkaline lake bed in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. The situation deteriorated early Saturday when a rainstorm drenched the lake bed, transforming the area into a mudpocalypse. Since early Saturday, all entry and exit points of the Burning Man Festival remained closed due to the thick alkaline mud. As of 9 a.m. Sunday morning, event organizers said the gate and airport in and out of Black Rock City remained closed. Think about that. You're trapped with 70,000 people on a muddy lake bed. Ingress and egress are halted until further notice. No driving is permitted except emergency vehicles. Organizers continued to advise the 73,000 plus attendees to conserve food and water and shelter in a warm space, if you have one. The Independent confirmed local officials had reported at least one death, but they haven't released details on the suspected cause of death. A major concern is that the toxic alkali dust that makes up the lake bed is now 3 inches of mud. And if attendees aren't wearing socks and closed shoes, it can cause chemical burns called playa foot. Ignorance, a word that seems too mild for what just happened at Burning Man. Picture this, 70,000 plus people all stranded amidst the chaos of a flooded desert. The epitome of an unflinching ignorance. The sacred playa, transformed from a dusty paradise into a waterlogged, muddy wasteland, devoid of its ethereal beauty, swallowed by torrents of rain. Burners scramble to salvage what remains, but there is no escaping the disregard for nature, for preparation that led them there. The ignorance of the 70,000 plus people who believed they could conquer Mother Nature, piles of soaked dreams, now soaked trash and excrement, testaments to our lack of foresight and respect. How could we let this happen? What example are we setting for future generations? But amidst the wreckage, messages emerge. Is this the wake-up call we needed? A reminder of the consequences that follow arrogance and ignorance?
For those who don't know, Burning Man is an annual event held in the Black Rock Desert on the playa. For 1 week, about 80,000 people gather onto the dry lake bed, building an experimental city known as Black Rock City.
Burning Man claims to be the world's largest Leave No Trace event, but what we found during our investigation may shock you. The thing we do have a problem with, though, is the hypocrisy of this event and what we found while researching this video.
We do know there's a segment of burners who are also very upset about what we're about to show you, and we are not painting all burners with the same brush. If this video makes you angry at us, you're probably the problem. We made a video covering the town of Gerlach near the location of the Burning Man event.
Here is what we found.
As we started heading out, we noticed massive amounts of trash along the road. We'll show you a before and after event comparison on screen right now, and as you can see, there's a huge difference. Before was only 2 weeks before the Burning Man event.
This wasn't just one portion of the road, but the entire 75-mile stretch from Wadsworth to the Burning Man event was littered with trash, abandoned trailers, RVs, and more. Just garbage everywhere.
Look at all the trash blowing around in there.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
As we got closer, we started to notice garbage everywhere, even along the dunes around the event where the kit fox habitat is located. One piece of garbage was right next to what appeared to be a kit fox den.
Then we discovered something disturbing. As we looked into this closer, we found an organization called the Friends of Black Rock High Rock with some interesting connections and beliefs. First of all, one of the Burning Man founders is vice president of this organization, so these two organizations are very intertwined.
Ironically, here's a post from Friend of Black Rock's Facebook page talking about protecting the kit foxes, and then right there, right next to a kit fox den, there's garbage littered right after the Burning Man event, which one of the founders is vice president of this organization.
Yes, and there's also more people on the board of the Black Rock who are also very well invested into the Burning Man event, and they like to have their event. And this is one of the things that really bothers me, guys, when I found this, is they're such freaking hypocrites. They're total hypocrites in my opinion. They're hypocrites. They don't want you doing anything out there. They're trying to control everything you could do out there, but they're allowed to bring 80,000 people out there and throw a giant party that causes all kinds of air pollution. Something that the Leave No Trace never discusses is air pollution. They don't want to have trash cans out there on the playa because they say it might disturb the playa, but look at all the trucks. I'll show you guys right now. There were so many massive trucks and massive types of equipment out there working on this playa that they claim is so delicate. They don't want people driving their cars off-road, but yet the founder himself is shown right here. We'll show you a picture of him on a UTV off-road doing the exact same thing he tells everyone else not to do. And this is the kind of stuff that really freaking makes me mad, because who in the heck are you to go and tell everybody else they can't do this, they can't do that, and you get to go do everything yourself? It's like they think it's their own little freaking party or something, like their own area out there. Get this. This one is really insane, guys. Get this. They don't want you building rocks. They don't want you stacking rocks. I'm not kidding. They don't want you to stack rocks up.
But they're gonna build a whole city in the desert for a week.
And burn it all to the ground, and then they're gonna burn off propane. Can you imagine how much air pollution is in a burning off of all the propane at the end of the event? Now, these are the same people who run the Burning Man. On one hand, they're pretending like they're out there to protect the environment, and the next minute, what are they doing? They're literally destroying the environment out there. How do they get to have it both ways like that?
Basically, it seems like, in our opinion, they just kind of want the area for themselves and pretend they're Leave No Trace. And I mean, you could see, guys, this is not a Leave No Trace event based on what we found.
And what I found really strange when we were looking into this organization, I guess this non-profit organization, is first of all, is a couple of their sponsors was surprising. One of them is Toyota. I mean, why would Toyota sponsor an event, an organization that doesn't want you to drive your Toyotas off-road? I mean, I bought a Toyota to drive it off-road. He doesn't want anyone driving off-road, except for him, of course, and his post, he's driving off-road in a UTV. And the second one, I believe it's Polaris.
People are always searching to fill a void. And that's one of the reasons people of this world go to things like Burning Man. And there's nothing in this world that will ever fill that void in your life until you know Jesus Christ. You can go to 1,000 Burning Man events and every other event that this world has to offer, and that void will still be there when you're done. If you're tired of feeling empty, I leave a link in the description box below. It'll take you to a page with a simple prayer that will help lead you to Jesus Christ. Click on that link and pray and ask Jesus to be the Lord of your life. Think about it.